web series on Talks with Titilayo. What's the tradition like to fly?
Out of the book.
Title. Just show me the flyer.
No parties.
Just show me. So I posted and then
I tap on it to say pin. Is it pin?
Hey people, hi, thank you for coming, thank you for joining in. Hey, I am the LB. Hey Toyosi, hi. I see my brother. Hey, hi guys, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to start ASAP. Ogurumbi Bumi, thank you for joining. Owen, my man, Bakari Aderoju, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. We will start in earnest. I'm just gonna we're gonna start by just basically saying a little bit about what this is all about. It's important that we make reference. So as soon as I cut off the music, we will take off. Okay, so we're gonna start. All right, welcome guys and good afternoon, and I hope the weekend is still going smoothly. I'm sure if it was our usual day, we will be out with our makeup people and the gele people, and all the Ashrabi would have been rolling out by now. So it's a good time to address what we could have been doing at this point in time. My name is Titi Oshodi, and I'm a communicator. I'm a brand communicator with my background in marketing communication. I'm also an administrator. What I do basically is provide a space and platforms for conversations, for exchange of value, for interrogating issues. And one of the things that has jumped to my face, and I'm sure not just me alone, is what we're going to be doing with our lives. You know, where people that we're social beings. We're very driven by social activities. And so we have found ourselves in a place where we keep asking ourselves the question now, what is going to happen? Are we ever going to get back to how it used to be? Are we ever going to be as free to express ourselves as it used to be? But we have to come to terms with what is going on. We have to accept. And so the idea of out of the box came to me because when you're within a confinement, or when you have set boundaries with yourself or for yourself, it's difficult to think outside of the boundaries that you have set. But situations require and demand of you to think outside of the box so that you can make some headway. And so hence the reason why we have this platform, to help our young budding entrepreneurs and our young fresh graduates who are trying to carve a path for themselves, to be able to create something. And you can't do that if you cannot speak to those who have been through the journey that you want to get onto, or that you want to go into. So that's the reason why we have chosen to pick on a few of our strong authorities in this industry. We're talking today on movies, and it's a discussion with 3 people. Today we're going to be talking to Lateef Adedimeji, who happens to be an authority, somebody who has drawn through the terrain, who has gone in, who left, you know, to redefine and to rebrand himself. And when he came back with a bang. So sometimes when we go through a fall situation, or we trace our steps, it's for the better. So I want it to be relatable. I want it to be an experience that you can look into and say, oh, I see myself here. I see myself in this thing, and I can make it if this person can do it. So we're going to be getting Lateef Adedimeji online in a minute. In the meantime, we're also going to be talking to Ali Baba, the master of the game, you know, at 2 o'clock. And it's going to be another explosive session. So I'd just like for you to put that in your itinerary. This is not going to be for more than 30 minutes, you know, 30, 40 minutes as we go. But let's start to see how we can get on board. Okay. Am I supposed to search for him?
He will send a request.
Okay. I haven't, so.
He will send a request.
I'm just going to message.
Scroll back up, check where his name is. He would have sent a request since.
Okay.
Tap on his name. Anyway, it's his name. Anyway, it's his name. Tap on it.
Okay. They're sending a request to. Hey, here we are.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Mr. Adedimeji. Hello, Lateef.
How you doing, ma?
I'm good, thank you. I see you're on the way, on the go.
I'm just gonna pack in a few, and then I'll
Okay,
be able to talk. But we can just continue. I'm gonna pack in a few right now.
keep chatting. Okay, great. Wow, you came in and the numbers just shut up. Everybody's waiting for you. It's great to have you. It's great to have you. We're all excited. We can't wait to hear what you're going to be sharing with us today. And all ears are open.
Great.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
so we're going to start first with just the usual familiarities. I have a clear connect with you because you're my alma mater. I went to Olabisi Onabanjo University as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
good.
and this is after I did all the running around in my life before I finally thought, okay, let me get myself a degree.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I always think that with the young ones, then they're supposed to, they should be able to discover themselves.
Yes.
And the process of discovery is, for some people, the longest. It's even more challenging for those who are talented, who have a flair for more than one or two things.
Right.
Because instead of it being like a blessing, it may turn out to be a curse because they feel that there's nothing that they touch that they cannot work with. Do you get it? So we want you to talk to us about your moment of discovering yourself. And at the point that you started to tell yourself the truth about what you really are about. Okay? And then we will take you to how you got into the industry that you're in right now and how you were able to start to redefine yourself. So let's start first with, what did you study in school?
Right. Okay. I studied mass communication in school.
Okay.
Olabisi Onabanjo University. But basically,
Okay.
Discovering myself is from, at first, I really do not have any intention of becoming an actor or even think it's a talent that I have. I only realized that when I was young, I do a lot of things, and then my siblings will have to laugh, my parents will have to laugh, and then I'm being like, so I'm always just laughing about it all. Once I do it, I'll just laugh. Like, I don't see it as anything. It's just me naturally. So
Yeah.
I know when I was young, the Yoruba movies I used to watch, all of those people on TV then, there is the person I mimic. I mimic Eko Kinki and Luku Luku of those days. I mimic
Okay,
them.
so they're asking me to tell you to pull over.
Yes.
For fans are requesting that you pull over and take moments to.
Wow. I just need a good place to pull. So they should be calm with me. In another minute, I'm going to do that. Okay, I'll try.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, few seconds, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. Pull over. Wọ́n bínú, mo ti sáré wọnú, mo ti há wọnú street kan tí n ti rí, because I need a good place to balance myself so that my window. Okay, right here, right. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
Right. So I realized I used to mimic Luku Luku Ekokinki in those days, and then we just laugh. So in my secondary school, I think in my JS2, there is this non-governmental organization in Isolo, because I went to
Okay.
Okota Grammar School in Okota. I mean Ilamoye Grammar School in Okota. So this NGO, then they go to different secondary schools, public schools basically, to pick young people to train
Right.
them to be peer educators and counselors for other young
Okay.
people. So they came to my school then, and I was selected to be one of those people that they would train to be a peer educator and a counselor. So basically,
Okay.
how they get message across to people, because they deal with basically HIV, AIDS, sexually transmitted infections, drug abuse, anything that has to do with people generally. And then
Okay.
get message across to these people through acting, dance, and song, basically. So
Okay.
they take us to their own organization. They train us we rehearse on a daily basis. Every Friday is our regular rehearsal days. But basically what we'll be doing is either we are treating topics on drug abuse, on prostitution, on people living positively with AIDS, and those are different issues that we form stories around and build dramas around and build dance around them. So basically that is how I got trained. So
Right.
that was where I realized the fact that this is something that I really want to do. Apart from the fact that my siblings have always told me, you do some things that, oh, Sheloma Shefim, and I'll be like, this is not what I want. But eventually, when I got mentored by these people, I realized that this is really what I want to do. I do not just want to be an actor that will just do movies.
Yeah.
I want to be an actor that will do a movie that will speak to people, that will do movies, that will impact people, that will do,
Absolutely.
you will not just be an actor that shows on TV, but you will be an actor with a personality that speaks something impactful to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I know, yeah.
So
Go on, please finish.
got trained by them. So basically, they go to market women, they go to organizers, all of these people, they have associations. So we go to their associations, then we ask them what the problems of their members are. So whatever they tell us, we take it back to our own organization as an NGO, then we build a drama around it. Because I believe in the fact that when you take it to them, and then they see what is happening, than you just speaking to them without showing them a practical of what you are speaking to them about.
So reenacting the lifestyle of those people for them to see.
For them to see. So we take it to them, we listen to their story, we form a drama around it, then we take it back to them so that they see that if this thing is happening to any of your member or is happening in your family, you can key into it. Then at the end of the drama, we'll provide a likely solution. So they can key into that we have provided for them, and they can make a change in their different families. So that's how we've been trained with a whole lot of us. And after then is when I now left for the university. So I chose not to study theater art again because I had all of the background in it already from my organization that trained me. So I had to go for something that has a bit of theater in it. And that's how I go for mass communication. So that I can actually learn how to communicate with people, get a feedback, work on their feedback, and communicate it back to them, which has been so helpful for me.
Help me understand. So you see, it's important that we put this into perspective. Okay? A lot of people in the industry right now are going into acting, and in your field, I find that there's a lot in terms of apprenticeship, like an apprenticeship program for people. What would you say would be the right criteria to have good actors in the field? Let me explain to you. There's a very high tendency for just anything to be accepted as acting. There are acting schools and there are acting schools.
Do you understand? Now, take us back, as you have taken us back on the journey of how you had practical training on the field, and then that informed the choice of study in the university. You're telling me that that helped you into finding and owning your space right now, okay?
Right.
So if you have to have an acting school or a training school for people who want to be able to develop their talents in acting, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
What would you place down as your criteria, your basic criteria to be qualified to be part of that acting school?
Okay. Yeah. I've also come to the realization that a lot of people have acting school. There is a difference between having a rehearsal ground and an acting school. They are two different things. But most of the things we have today are rehearsal grounds, which would not even key you into a lot of stuff that you're supposed to be key into. Because the problem that we do not realize is, as an actor, as a public face, you must be extra intelligent because you have a lot on your head. Once a fame steps into you, you have a lot to deal with. Now, it is going to be wrong for you to speak out of your just thinking and not making a research about it and not making like a practical thing about it, or not hearing or not knowing about it, and then you just speak from your thought. That means you're leading a lot of people astray as an actor, as a public face. Then that's a lot of problem. And because the minute you become an actor, you become an authority. Everybody wants to listen to you.
Exactly.
Whether it is right or not right. If you tell them it's right and it is wrong, for the love they have for you, they will follow you.
They will follow.
So how many people are you putting on the right track as an actor, as a face, and how many people are you throwing off their normal life that they are supposed to hold on to and make an achievement from it? So it boils down to the fact that you, as a public figure, you as an actor, what training have you given to yourself?
Exactly.
A lot of famous people today were not prepared for the fame. So the problem is the fame uses them. They are not using the fame.
The fame.
And it's a big problem. It's a big problem because the minute you have a bit of fame, every negativity turns positive to you because something that is wrong is attached to it. Something can actually be very wrong, and they will bring millions worth of naira attached to that wrong thing. But because they know that you are a face, you can push it. They will come to you with that money. And you know it is wrong. But with the money, you decided to take it up and then push it.
Yes.
Now, it's that fame that ruled you at that time. You are not ruling the fame.
You're not ruling the fame.
You are ruling the fame. You could have stand on the fact that this is wrong. I would not do it. They brought some wrong strategy. You can as well put it to them. Can we take this strategy that you think is right and then speak to them about it? But because a lot came into the industry for the money.
Yes.
Fame.
Okay. Yes, I get you. I get you.
In it for the impact, for the profession itself, for what the profession carries itself. That's not what a lot are about. We have millions of actors, but we do not have thespians. How many thespians do we have? The true core theater people. If you are a theater person, you would automatically be a disciplined person. Because you cannot go through that route and not be disciplined. It is going to be so wrong. You will not be trained on stage. You will not have gone through all of this rigorous core theater person, and then you will misbehave.
So are you telling me that every person, or most people in Nollywood, should have a little bit of theater training in them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, every single person should have it, because people believe it is about talent, but it goes beyond talent. It is not just about talent. When you have a talent and you do not nurse that talent to follow the rules of the job, then your talent is useless. You can actually be famous and be useless. You can actually be very popular and be nothing to write home about. That is because it is that talent that you are about. You are not about what that talent carries and what that talent is supposed,
or the impact that the talent is supposed to deliver.
So it's a big problem that we have. So it is we that need to call ourselves back to attention. A lot of people that are not famous actually knows what it is, and we that are famous do not know what it is.
Okay, so let's say, for instance, and we're talking about local content here, because our topic today is movies, and we're saying because there are no parties and there's no form of engagement outdoor anymore, where do we catch the fun? Now, you have told me that there has to be a theater knowledge and training inherently placed in every player in that industry. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to help to drive the content? Is that supposed to help drive the level of entertainment, so that people who are staying indoors you are able to capture them and they can see the essence of who you are as an actor?
Of course, because when you have the right training, when you have the core training, and then when you develop that ability of not just standing by the training, you yourself, how much of research do you do on your own? Because it's another thing for you to have yourself trained, well trained, and it's another thing for you to upgrading yourself every now and then to meet up with what is going on in the society. Because as an agent of change that we are supposed to move with whatsoever that is happening at every point in time, because that is the expectation of the people that are in the house from us. So now,
yes,
that is a COVID season. How much information does the actor with the talent has about the situation? How much research does the actor has about this whole situation? Then how much are you willing to sit yourself down, then look at the situation, look at what is happening around, and build a short story around it that could pass
around it
to people at home? Which means you as an actor, what have you done? What have you done during the pandemic? Did you just, because there is no location, you cannot wake up in the morning, run to location and go back? Because everything about so many of us revolve around, let me wake up in the morning, off to the location, come back at home, wake up the next morning, off to the location, come back home. Now,
I like yes. Continue, please.
What time do you as an actor have for yourself to think about your own life as well? Because it is not about the life you portray to the people out there. It is about the life you carry yourself. That's what we are about. Because what a lot of us are about is just basically about that fame. That fame will wear off someday, and it is just going to be you. And I tell people a lot, it is you first before the world.
Yeah.
Because at the time they hail you, when they all leave, it's still going to be.
I like that part where you said that it's not about them, it's about what they show out to the world. I will take, for example, some of these our musicians, even within and outside of the country. You would notice that the veterans, the real good ones, have chosen in places like Europe to come out of their balcony and do a rendition of songs just to help other people around them in their neighborhood, to lift up the spirit of the people in their neighborhood. Could it be possible And I think that, you know, as a veteran and also as somebody who has become very strong in his space as well, could it be, is it possible that in your neighborhood and in the neighborhood of every Nollywood actor, that they can put in a skit of drive the values of this COVID-19, be able to just, you know, stretch out the learnings, the compliance levels, the things that people are supposed to do. If they put out something and just say, because you are here right now, I can imagine what would happen if you went to one open space or like a yes,
Yes.
right in front of everybody and put up a skit and let them know this COVID-19 is a serious thing. You people should not take it like you wear your mask, keep social distancing. Do you know how much effect that can be?
Of course. It will go a
So
long way because
yes,
for me, I have done a bit of that, because I have also recorded about 3 songs that has to do with COVID, that has to do
right.
with the situation.
There's a shit.
Hello.
It's hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I think it's better
Okay,
now.
it's
Yes, I can.
common. Yes, it's better.
So I did a song. I did a song with titled "Stay Safe" with another musical artist. Sorry, I think it's a network. Yes.
You know, some of the things that we are going through, you know,
Nigeria,
it's part of what we're discussing. So please go ahead.
So for me, with the pandemic, I had to do a song. It's titled "Stay
Yes.
Safe" with another musical artist, a young upcoming musical artist. I know he also has his fan base. I've got my fan base, and then there are other young people who are youth around, and we all had to come together. We recorded the song. We decided to post it everywhere, and then people see that these things happening is actually real, and then we need to pay
Yeah.
attention to it. I did another one, Timbadele, which is basically Yoruba from beginning to the end. The stay safe is in English. The Timbadele is in Yoruba, talking about how the different diseases uses us as slaves. We can have control over them if we listen and take precautions,
Yeah.
even if there is no cure. Precautions is better than cure. If you take
Yes.
precautions, then you would not contact it, and then you'll be safe. I did another song like that, and on like that. I'm replicating the model of the NGO that trained me, and I've got my own NGO as well. I have over 60 youth from different universities under me. On our WhatsApp page, we make sure that from time to time, ourselves how we can all, in our own various ways, pass this information across to ourselves. If you are not well equipped with necessary information, come on the WhatsApp group, ask questions. We all discuss it. We all know that this is the right information to get across to people. This is the right information to get across to people. Then every other person go out to their different neighborhood and disseminate this message. It is not enough for us to say that the government will do it. There is no government. We are the government. That is what a lot of people do not realize. if one person in each family get a right information and pass to every other person in that family, the family makes the community makes the state makes the country. So when the family is correct, then the community will be correct and the country in the long run will be correct, because someday somebody in that family will grow up and be somebody in the government. When the family is well equipped already, then when you get to the government, you do it right. So it's basically, what are you doing? Because we all believe it is the government. Let's build it from our different homes. Let's build it from the scratch. It is the home that builds the child, and the child becomes something in the society. When the home builds the child well, then the child will go into the society and do not follow the wrong hands, and do not give a take to peer pressure. No matter how much they pressurize you, if it is wrong, and then you have been well built up with the necessary information, you won't take it. You can choose to walk away, or you can choose to stay with them. So, but you don't, parents don't even need to force their child to say, this is what you must do. All you need to do is make a plain explanation, sincere explanation. Give them the information. Allow the child to decide. They will decide which is right or wrong. But when you force them that this is what they must do, they will go out and ask unnecessary questions from people. And then if they get to realize that what you're forcing them to do is from your own, because you want the will, your own will as a parent to be done, and that's why you're forcing the child, you would just choose to do whatsoever. Give them a free hand, but give them the necessary information. They will choose right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you enlighten us about this? First, tell me about the work that you did with UNICEF. I know that you did some writing. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, basically, when I was with my NGO, they train us all youth, and when we have all other youth-based NGO, we have the Action Health, we have a whole lot of other NGOs that are youth-based. So their youth also, they also link up. We can link up at a conference, and then we get to meet ourselves, share ideas and all of that. So there is also African Radio Drama Association, which is another youth NGO.
Is it still existent?
Yes, they're still in existence. It's owned by Auntie Data Fido. Data Fido. That's the project director of African Radio Drama Association. So basically, Ada does radio dramas. Radio dramas on different issues: drug abuse, peer pressure, HIV/AIDS, and all of that. So at the time that they want to do a youth-based radio drama for Lagos, for youth in Lagos Island and on the mainland, they contacted my own NGO, and I was part of the youth
name of your NGO?
Community Life Project. That's where I got molded into the acting world. So they contacted Community Life Project to send some of their youth, because they know that we do a lot of dramas and we do a lot of storytelling. So to send some of their youth that knows how to tell stories and how to write stories to them for the conference. So I got to that conference, and then we had to build stories based on people that lives in the garage. Agberos that lives in the garage. How they do with Omoni Paraga, how they relate to them and all of that. So they had to bring even people in the garage to the conference, so that they tell us their own experience. From their experiences, we can cook up our stories and then bring out a very good drama. So that was how I got into writing. So at times, Ada got sponsored by WHO, by UNICEF, and all of that. And they call us.
So it was a sponsorship from UNICEF with a collaboration between your foundation and the Radio Drama Foundation.
No. When the Radio Drama Foundation, when they need youth to write, they will contact my organization, and my organization will send us in, and then we write. It is basically with the Radio Association and the sponsors. So we are just hired to come in and write and do all of that. So eventually,
I'm listening, please.
So eventually wrote the drama on my catch up, and then I was lucky to present it on Radio Lagos for 1 year, every weekend, on every Saturday, 7 to 7:30. It's a 30-minute program. On my catch up, it was on Radio Lagos that time. So, and I was lucky to also be part of the people that played the lead character in the drama. So that is how I got into writing for radio and all of that.
Right. So one of the things that we want to do on this platform is open up opportunities like this for these young ones to hear. You understand? There's also the development aspect where it is that I caught when I was doing my research, the work that you did with UNICEF, and I know that there are a couple of other foundations as well and NGOs who look into this intervention. This is their area. They want to develop culture, they want to develop indigenous content and open up the space for proliferation. So I'd like for you to just throw that out and let them be part of the values that you're throwing to your followers as well, so that you know. Some of them are talented in drug writing, some of them are talented in teaching. You know, those that say that do AWE. You understand? So
Yes.
they must be able to have this opportunity so that they can explore for themselves.
Yes, right now, because I'm replicating the model of the NGO that trained me, I also have my own NGO, which is a youth-based NGO. And right about now, because I'm building up my own studio to accommodate a lot of young people, basically to train them, not even basically to be an actor, but when you're well equipped with the necessary information about how to take up the life and make good use of your own life. Because I come to the realization that how many people even know who they are? They don't even know who they are. They don't know what they want. They don't know nothing about all of those things. So when you see somebody else is doing something interesting and that thing is not your line, but because you feel that person is doing it right, you feel you can also do it right. It is possible that you do not have to do that thing that person is doing. You can do another thing and you get it right. And that person does that and get it right. So basically, I'm opening my studio soon because I'm still working on it. And then there's going to be the youth center where I'm going to be having like 20 youths at different times to mentor them. And after mentoring them, they will tell me what they want to do exactly. If you want to do makeup, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be this, if you want to be that, then I will send them out into the different spaces that they want to get their training from. And after then, after they are done with the training, if you want to be an editor, you want to be a cameraman, you want to be any of those things, we will send you out to do all of the training, equip you with the training. Then when you're done, we will employ you. And then you work.
Okay, so fantastic idea. Starting off with 20 is great, but looking to have a lot more in a bigger capacity is even phenomenal. So in your approach and in your movements and your plans, please look into the opportunity to collaborate with other people as well, especially if you want to get partnerships even amongst the people in your industry. I'm sure that there are quite a number of people who have the same kind of mindset like you, who would also like to build capacity like you as well. And then also look at ways that you would feel you need an enabling environment in terms of, resource or what the government or, look at areas as well and then make a proposal. Look for ways to be able to generate that awareness and express it.
Yes.
Do you understand? But that's a really, really good one. And I really think that, as soon as that can take on, we need to get as many people out of the job market to be self-employed, to be able to support themselves, self-sustainability for themselves. It's really pretty much what it is that we should be targeting, should be the objective of this for us.
It's key. Yeah, we're working on it. There is, because we have the plan already. There is the one where we have one in Ibadan and we're building up another one in Lagos. We're basically going to be the AL Notion studio. There is going to be Ibadan. There is going to be Lagos as well. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of stuff. The Lagos will have people going into the Lagos Youth Center as well to get nurtured by young actors who have made it, by young actresses who have made it, who tell you our story, will let you know that it wasn't just, we didn't just start and we didn't just get there. So when you hear it from us, then you will know that you don't need to rush yourself, and you don't need to take a fast lane and then go something to want to be known. You can actually take slow and steady wins the race. When you are about it and you are well equipped with the necessary information, don't worry about it. You will get there as a matter of time. You can actually be slow and be making a lot of impact, and somebody can actually be very fast and makes no impact. That's one thing you should realize. You can be slow and your impact goes far than somebody that is fast and the impact is slow. So we are about slow and make a lot of impact, not fast and makes no impact. That's not what we're about. So basically, we are on it, and then I know it's not going to be easy because this is a self-funding thing right now, but I believe the fact that it is not about the money. The best investment ever that I have known in my life is to invest in other people. Because those are the people that will make you to be relevant and be relevant for life. Because at some point, your reign, you cannot reign forever. Your reign at a point is at 100, and at a point it's going to be at 20. But if it is at 20 and you want it to look like it's still at 100, it is those people that you are invested in that will keep you there. So I'm particular about investing in a whole lot of people. But we know that we'll get there. We'll get there. It's not going to be easy, but
tell us about Emeka. How did you create Emeka? Where did he come from? How was he born?
It's basically
and
about
Yakweju too.
You know, about nurturing a lot of talent that you have in yourself. You need to pay attention to yourself a lot, because you people don't need to discover you. You can discover yourself if you pay attention to yourself. So I think there's a lot of attention I pay to myself. I stress my brain a lot. When you tell me something that I'm not worth to think about it, if you tell me I'm stupid, I should ignore the fact that you told me I'm stupid. I will ignore you that said it, but I will not ignore the word, and I will not ignore the reaction in which you said it. But I will ignore you that said it to me. I don't want to use you. I want to use that word that you said to me. So I will take the I am stupid. I will hold it. At my leisure time, I will now scatter it. I'll start asking myself questions. And I'll ask myself questions like, why did you tell me I'm stupid? What led to that word, I am stupid? What was your reaction at the time you said it to me? At the time you say that I am stupid to me, what was your reaction? Were you smiling? Were you angry? Were you passive about it? Were you joking about it? I will now start giving meanings to all of those reactions. Now I have ignored you, but your words are making sense to me. I am dicing your words. I am cutting, adding, I am taking away from your words. By the time I will finish up with that word, something positive must come out of it. Now, you might have said it to me to get a negative opinion from me, or to get a negative attitude from me. But I choose to ignore you that said it, because it is not the word that caused the pain. It is the interpretation that you give to it. So I choose not to give a wrong interpretation to you that said the word, but I choose to take that word both with the negative interpretation and a positive interpretation, but to go and scatter it and eventually take the negativity out of it, dump it in a bin, and pick up the positivity, add it to myself, and by the time you're going to see me next, I'll be better than the word I am stupid.
Mind the message, but don't mind the messenger.
Yay! The messenger is not important, but take the message. No matter how, whether it is positive or negative, take that message important, ignore the messenger.
Ignore the messenger.
That messenger
was that how Emeka was born?
That is how Emeka was born. Because the owner of Emeka, the voice, was one of my trainers.
Right.
while I was with my NGO. Now,
Right.
Christian Order is no longer in. He left Nigeria over 15 years, 17 years ago. But that word, that character I picked from him since that year makes me stay and gives me a lot of money. So at times when we get to speak over the phone, and you'll be like, you are a very stupid person, you know? So you can't take us at the talk. Now you they take talk now. If I had paid attention to him, I would be, let me not pick something interesting from him. But because I do not pay only attention to him, I pay attention to those qualities in him. And I picked it up and had it to myself. Today, that has made me something. It has created a uniqueness for me some way. And now I can refer to, I'm calling his name now. And this means that I called his name, that I picked something interesting from him. He is a legend. He is a celebrity.
What about Iyakpeju?
Iyakpeju, the dance I did in Iyakpeju is from my mom. My mom used to do that kind of dance. And I always tell her, Mommy, Ojo timba fe se nkan re abi mo fe se wedding te. But I did not ignore the dance. I picked the dance. See, my mother does this dance so many years back, more than a decade. I was too young. But because I paid attention to her and to the qualities in her, I did not ignore the dance.
So what you're telling us is that there's a lot of content and ideas for inspiration all around us. We just need to pick it and lock into it.
That is where the inspiration is. Do not allow anything to pass by you, because the problem with people is when you see a deaf person and you are not deaf, you look at the deaf person like a fool. That deaf person has enough potentials, even more than you. If you pay a deep attention to that deaf person, you will pick it. As an actor, you must pay attention to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that passes by you. Someday, you might be given a deaf and dumb role to play. If you have ignored that deaf and dumb person, what mannerism to pick from him that you will now use? That people will now say, who they more audition, who they deaf and dumb in that? You must have lived with the person. You must have been able to relate with the person. You must have been able to pay attention to the person before you can pick such. So very important. We need to pay attention to everything around us. It is
Thank you so much. We're so grateful. There's one of the things that I also wanted to ask you. One of the interviews that you gave, and you said that you were looking out for somebody who can understand people in the industry, and that's what you used to choose your partner. Isn't this supposed to be love at first sight? Is it love at first industry? How did you do that one? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Did you hear my question?
Please take it again. I'm sorry.
Okay, I said that in one of the interviews that you gave,
yes,
right, you said one of your criteria for choosing your partner was to have somebody who would understand someone that is a practitioner in the industry.
yes.
So my question is to you, isn't it supposed to be love at first sight? Is it love at first industry for you to have chosen the partner?
It can actually be love. I don't know what interpretation people call love. I don't know the interpretation of love. When you love and you do not have a clear understanding, your love is useless. So it's not love. What I call love is understanding. What I call love is, how do you reason with me? Are we connected in our reasoning? When we're connected in our reasoning, then we can actually be in love. We can be in love in business. We can be in love as couple. We can be in love in idea. We can be in love in so many. It all boils down. How do you reason like I do? Do you have a clear understanding of me and what I do? That means you have a lot of work to do. If you are going to be my love, if you are going to be my friend, you have a lot of work to do, because I am going to be doing a lot of work trying to study you to get what do I say that triggers your anger? What do I say that brings you smile? What naughty thing do I do that irritates you and eventually makes you smile? I'll pay attention to all of this. So at the time you're going to be so angry, I know what to say to you that will get it off in no time. Then if all of this is achievable, then I'll be in love with you. Because it's not the love word. It is those things that create the love. It is those actions around it that create the love. It is not, what is love without those actions and reactions and reasoning and all of that?
So let's say you had a couple of ladies around you, and you were looking at them one after the other to know which one understand your idiosyncrasy or understand your manner before you say, okay, this is the one I'm going to choose. Is that how it is?
Yes, exactly.